So yeah, this is a thing that I think we need to talk about. Biased headlines. Pro-car, anti-bike. Subconscious or intentional? Let's take a look at this. Truck driver dies after a collision with a bicyclist in Sparks. Okay, there was a collision. We've established there's a truck driver. We established he or she died, and it was with a bicyclist, and it happened in Sparks. Let's find out what actually happened. The driver of a stolen pickup truck died after a collision with a bicyclist, a second crash, and a foot chase, according to Sparks police report released Thursday. So instantly, lots more details came out in this next sentence. And those details heavily alter what we just read. What does this headline suggest? He died because of the collision, but you notice the word after. Very key point. Journalists love using this word, especially when it comes to matters of economics and the stock market. Like stocks crash after some big name person says something on television. It's like, okay, so that's establishing a time period before, during, after. While it does not explicitly say because of, it is implied, and it's used all the time to get people to click on headlines. Everything started about 5 p.m. Sunday when Sparks police officers and other first responders were sent to a traffic collision at Prater Way and El Rancho Drive. I know this area. This area sucks, okay? If anyone's familiar with that area, there's the car wash. It's kind of like in a median. Years ago, it must have been really nice to have a car wash there, but right now, that's like in the worst place possible. That entire intersection of 5 streets should be turned into a roundabout. But I'm going to set that aside for now, okay? Witnesses reported that the suspect vehicle was a white Dodge Dakota truck. So already we're talking about large vehicle, okay, that fled from the scene where an adult male bicyclist was struck. So why does it specifically die? Okay, let me go on. I'm going to go on here. Mergen was at fault in the accident, police said, adding that the bicyclist had jumped into the truck's bed to prevent him from fleeing. Well, wait a minute. Wait. So, okay. So now even more questions come up. Why is the bicyclist jumping into the truck's bed to prevent him from fleeing? Probably because it was a hit and run, and he was trying to say, hey, stay here. But no, the guy left the scene of the accident. Have you ever been in an accident with a truck or something, and they act like they can just keep on going? I mean, you see these videos all the time. Even in fatal accidents, they just take off. I mean, I was witness to one that happened on South Virginia Street. Multiple people saw someone in a truck, a white truck, hit a bicyclist who was going 35 miles an hour, clipped their handle because they got too close to the bicycle, and then they just took off. And then the cyclist, my God, she was bleeding in her arms and everything. Emergency responders came. They had to take, and the other witnesses had managed to follow the truck driver and take his license plate, and they sent the police after them to apprehend them because that is a criminal offense. Okay, so this person driving this truck just committed a criminal offense by hitting a bicyclist and fleeing the scene. And so the bicyclist jumped into the truck's bed to try to prevent him from fleeing. Moments later, officers were advised of a second traffic collision involving the truck in the 1000 block of El Rancho. So it proceeded northbound. After running a couple hundred yards, what? When they arrived, officers learned its drivers had fled on foot, with a bicyclist following him, police said. So the guy that got hit by the truck was running after the guy who had fled the scene. Why did the guy leave his truck? After running a couple hundred yards, Mergen was exhausted and stopped, police said. The bicyclist caught up and verbally attempted to convince Mergen to stay put for authorities. Because it's a hit and run, right? He doesn't realize it's a stolen truck. He just knows that he got hit. but the guy wouldn't stay at the scene. So this guy who had a stolen truck hit a bicyclist on Prater at one of the most dangerous intersections in Sparks, fled the scene, gets off of his truck because he's probably like, oh shit, I have a stolen truck. I just hit a bicyclist. I need to get out of here and get rid of the truck that I stole. Mergen threw an item at the bicyclist and began to flee on foot again. Mergen only went a very short distance before collapsing and was unresponsive when police and medics arrived. So this person probably had some kind of a cardiac arrest or some sort of medical issue, probably because of the stress that they were put under for having done so many things that they realized was fucking up their life, and collapses. Mergen was transported by ambulance to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to statements, witness accounts, and partial video coverage of the incident, there is no reason to believe that there was a physical altercation that led to Mergen's collapse and death, police said. An initial examination of the medical examiner's office showed no signs of physical trauma that may have led to Mergen's death, the report said. At this time, all indications are that Mergen passed due to some sort of medical issue, the report said. However, this case will remain open pending final medical examiners because we know how crappy those cyclists are on the streets. See the narrative? Why am I being critical about what could be implied? Because of the headline. But they pin it. They push the narrative. They point the finger at the fact that it happened with a cyclist. Now, you may criticize me for being critical about this, but this is not an isolated incident. There are many reports that are put out, twist the facts around, aim things. So, you know what this should be? Hold on, wait. I'm here. Just check this out. Here's what it should be to be accurate. This is an inaccurate statement that they're making. I'm just going to change this right here. Let's see here. Truck thief collapses and dies after fleeing a hit and run collision. There. Maybe that's a little bit more accurate, don't you think? Just saying. I'm tired of looking at these headlines that pit cars against cyclists, that pit automotive drivers against micromobile drivers. Micromobile, is that a word? I guess it is now. I just invented it. Okay, micromobile words. That would be a much more accurate statement to say. Truck thief collapses and dies after fleeing a hit-and-run collision. This is why I don't subscribe to the Reno Gazette-Journal. They're dishonest. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I disillusioned? You tell me.